Be the CEO of your own financial life. Take your finances as seriously as a business does, because if you don't, no one else is going to do it for you. Nobody is about to come and save you when we're talking about your retirement future or your financial goals or taking care of your household. There is not a, man with a cape coming. This is not happening.
And so I would even say, like, get yourself a whiteboard and use that as a tool when you sit down and you set a strategy for the year and just start writing everything out there so you can see the big picture and what the big picture looks like. Because when you can see everything, you see where the gaps, where there may be holes, or where you're winning, where you're having success. And then you can chart your way through it,
Welcome. This is For Better and Worth,
the podcast where we don't believe you have to sacrifice your relationship while you grow and build your net worth.
We are your hosts.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Ericka Young, and we're so glad you're joining us today.
All right, y'all, let's get into it.
Hey, babe, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good.
Awesome. So I
just got to think of a song when we first start,
You gonna start singing?
No, I'm not gonna sing, but something, whenever we say how we doing, I'm like, tag team, back again. But I gotta create variety in my song choices.
Okay.
So when we start, it's always a play on, like Club Nouveau, back to life.
Back
to reality.
Back to
the here and now of things.
Hey.
So,
hey.
We back at it. It's just that's the general theme. We come back and we're recording. I'm like, bam, we back at it.
And we have a new year.
Yeah.
We have a new year.
Well, how many years? Okay, at some point we got to stop saying it's Happy New Year. It's here.
It is here. Happy New Year. But no. People say Happy New Year all month, babe.
Right. So
people say Happy New Year all month. In February,
first month of January, when we start, we're gonna keep saying Happy New Year.
Yeah. So if it's February, let's stop.
Yeah.
Let's stop. Okay.
All right. So Happy New Year.
But it's significant this time because people are goal setting. Yeah. People are setting resolutions. People are looking forward to doing something new. And this is the time. And so, we did something kind of new for us. We always set goals. And honestly, I haven't finished setting my goals. I haven't really done that.
I don't think I've really set my goals yet. I just kind of, I don't know. I'm going to try and be more intentional. I did set a new goal.
What did you say? What did you?
Like, I think for a while, I read a lot of books. I've read a lot of books over the years.
Yeah.
But there's been a season where I haven't been reading a whole lot of books. I read a lot of articles and online news and stuff like that. But our daughters are avid readers. Mm-hmm. And I told my daughter, I said, you know what? I'm going to set a goal and I'm going to read more this year. And like read for like fun, enjoyment, just pleasure. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm going to read at least 10 books this year, which,
okay.
They're reading like 15, 20, 30 books, like tens of thousands of pages. Like
they are, I think our youngest read 40 books.
Yeah, I think it was like 35 or something. It was a lot of books. And I was like, well, okay, big dog, you got it.
I read a lot, but I listen. I'm listening on Audible. You
listen to a lot of books.
I do. I will probably listen to one a week or one every 2 weeks.
Yeah. So I joined them and I said I subscribe to Goodreads and I'm starting my list. And so that's one goal I did set was that.
Yeah, I have not really set a bunch of goals. I remember one year I said, I'm not setting any goals until the end of January because why? Like, why does it have to be on January 1st? So, but I'm not doing that. I just need to sit down. I kind of have my formulations of all the goals, but I haven't really sat down and written them out except for our financial goal.
Yeah,
and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Episode is about.
Yes.
Like, we talked about goal setting, and we talked about ending the year and all of that, but we did something a little different this year. And I think it stemmed from one of our previous episodes where we sat down with a financial planner and we talked about, what we learned from that session. And they had our whole financial life on a whiteboard. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, this is like eye-opening just when you see everything, all these different components and aspects in front of you. Like, I thought it was pretty good. And
then I also had, I watched someone do their goal setting for the year as a family, and they have little kids. And so they have to plan travel and when they're going to need a babysitter and all that. But they're entrepreneurs and like how much money they needed to earn and that kind of thing. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool to do it together, because we don't really do all of the goal setting together. We do our financial goals
together.
Then
we have our individual goal setting, but I think this year we actually sat down and we started just talking about, well, first of all, we started with a look back.
Yes.
Like, we have a financial software tool that we utilize, and you made a printout of that tool. Mm-hmm. And then we were just online looking at all the categories of our spending, and we found some discrepancies, and we had to go and correct some things so they were categorized correctly, so that when we were making that look, it was a holistic view. It wasn't like, well, what is this? This doesn't belong here. So we put it where it belonged. And then we saw where there was areas where we could make shifts and adjustments. I was like, hold on.
What was the area, babe? What was the area that you felt like we can make a shift on?
You want me to say it on here?
Yes.
Your clothing.
Oh. That's not what I thought you was going to say.
Got her.
That's not what I thought you was going to say. But
I was like, hold on. Look at this clothing spend. Your clothing is like more than double what I spent.
Do I look good, baby?
You look great all the time.
Okay.
All the time.
Okay.
I was like, we got to work on this right here.
So,
which category did you think I was going to say?
Dining out.
Oh yeah, that's got to go.
So listen. So wait.
Got to go.
Let's back up though. I did say at the end of December that I was not buying any clothes at all in January of my own volition prior to you looking at.
I'm going to take a 1 month sabbatical.
I am. And so that is my commitment. And so anyway, I did that without any coercion from you, I might add. So are you happy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, I want you to look good though. So
but
I'm not going to trip on it, because you are very frugal in the approach that you take to spending. And so, I mean, I'm making a big deal about not much. So. But that dining out, we about to meal prep some more meals at home or something.
Yeah.
I was like, no, we don't. Like, where did all that money go?
So here's the thing. This is what it is when it comes to dining out. And I think this is the case for a lot of people as well. Is we don't do a lot of fast food dining.
No.
We like to sit down.
Yeah.
And we have realized that one of our favorite spots that we go to, if you and I go, we spend almost $100 every time we go.
Easily.
So we only go there once, maybe twice a month.
But I said this last year before, but I know I've said this. I said, if I'm going to go and dine out, first I want to get something that I can't get at home. Mm-hmm. Something that we don't make at home, or it's not normally what we do at home. But I also want to make sure I have a very good experience, because if I go out and dine out and it's a bad experience, I don't want that to be what I'm left with. Mm-hmm. So we're very selective in where we go. We go to a lot of the same places because we know the food will be good, the experience will be good. So I think we've committed to paying a little bit more in that regard, because we're paying for the overall experience.
Yes. So because of that, how we change the amount is reduced frequency.
Yeah.
It's not twice a month, it's once a month.
Yeah.
And it is how many times we order takeout when we're bringing it home, because even that is more than just going to get fast food, right? And so
we'll get like Thai food. This is like $50.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
No. It was $50 for you and one daughter.
I know. Well, that's like $2 of us.
I know, exactly.
That's like $50 for 2 people.
Yeah,
like, geez.
yeah. So that's the thing. So it's interesting that you thought that was a high number because,
what do you think was a higher number?
No, I think it's interesting because I was aware of that number. I don't think that I was surprised by many of the numbers because I'm the one who typically tracks the numbers and things like that. So I'm pretty aware of it. But the reason why we do a look back for the entire year is because typically we'll look at 1 month at a time, or we'll have some different conversations about what just occurred. But to see the entire year can be really eye-opening because those numbers are bigger.
Yes.
Right. And so that is always a good practice to go back and see where you spent all your hard-earned money.
And I think if people look at, like you've heard me say, when it comes to career and work, you have to act like the CEO of your own business. I run Chris Young Incorporated, and I'm the CEO, you're the CTO, and we share the role of the CFO. And people who know me have heard me say that because you have to make decisions that are going to help move Chris Young Inc. forward. And that's us. And so I think if people consider that their finances, they have to run it as, a business. They have to look at it the same way because go to the business world. They don't plan month to month. Businesses plan, they have an annual, a fiscal budget that they start out with. They have goals that they set for the year. Now, those may be broken out to quarterly objectives, but they have an overarching goal that is a goal that they set for the year. And I even think about our business. We have meetings to start the year to talk about what we want to accomplish, what we're going to focus on. So why wouldn't you do something similar at home to stop and say, okay, let's sit down and let's chart the year, not just January, then reconvene and chart February, chart the whole year and have check-ins along the way. And that's why I think it's so important.
Yeah. And actually, when you talk about business stuff, in the last couple of years, I have taken some time away, gone to the library or a co-working space in order to map out what it is I wanted to see for the year and what I was going to focus on, but also to look at my numbers. And the numbers, and when I say look at the numbers for business, is the profit and loss. Like you were saying, like businesses looking at where they were and where they're going and all of that. One of those, spreadsheets, one of those metrics is the profit and loss. And we need to do that for our personal life. And
Absolutely.
We don't have a profit and loss. We have an income versus expenses. And we need to see that not just the big numbers, but by category to see, is your money going where you want it to be? And so are there areas of opportunity? We did see we spend a decent sum on entertainment. We prioritize travel, right? And last year in particular, we spent quite a lot on our renovations. And so, and this year, our big goal, which we have said on the podcast.
Yes.
What is our big goal?
No mortgage.
No mortgage. So we're excited about paying that off. And so what we did was, I have a whiteboard in my office and we looked at our numbers and we started talking through our goals and what it is we want to see. I wrote them down, and I wanted to compare 2025 spending with what we wanted to see for 2026.
With the goal setting for 2026.
Yeah. And when you can write it out visually, that's helpful. For business, what I've done is I just get those huge sticky notes and put it on the wall so that I can look at that later and not erase the whiteboard, for instance. And so I got the huge sticky notes, put it on the wall, and I wrote all of my ideas and brainstorms and all of that. But however you decide to do it, making it visual is important, and writing it down is important so you can cross things out or erase something and rewrite something.
I like the whiteboard concept, the whiteboard idea, because we said, okay, here's where our big expenses were, where we spent money that we're not going to spend this year. So we were able to recapture that right off the back.
Right.
So we spent big sums here, here, and here, which we're not going to spend this year. And so we were able to take that kind of as a starting point to say in 2026, all things being equal, income being the same, we're going to have this same money, but we're not spending it here. So what are we going to do? And we started to chart out, okay, we're going to save this much because we prioritize vacation with our girls. We were like, we're going to put this much on vacation, and you know, this is what we'll pay the mortgage off. And we were going category by category, and we were like, wait a minute, this doesn't add up. This is more. So something has to give. And we were like, okay, well, maybe this area has to be less, so this can be more. And I think when you see that visually in front of you, you can't deny it, because you have to say, okay, well, if something extraordinary happens and the income is significantly different, we can make a different decision. But all things being equal, we're going to basically budget for the year, spend the money on January 1st for the year, and then just kind of do what the categories are as the year goes along.
So I want to ask you this question. I'm curious. We have a goal on there we're not doing a renovation, but we want to replace our carpet. It is on our list of priorities, the last. If we didn't get to that, how would you feel?
I'll be okay.
Okay.
I'll be okay.
But if we didn't pay off the mortgage, how would you feel?
Oh no, that's not gonna happen.
So this is the point, right?
That's not gonna happen.
So this is the point. So we have a couple of other goals in between, right? We got vacation. We want to,
that's
put
why
some
it's
more
a
money.
goal. You got to put what's first.
Yes, and that asking that question is so important. Like, I probably knew the answer, but
it's a loaded question because you already knew what I was going to say.
Right, and I agree. I also agree, and I think that that's a big part of this puzzle. So when you write it out and then you have these conversations and you're like, okay, so how important is this? It would for both of us feel like a miss if we did not, a huge miss if we did not pay off our mortgage. This is something that we have been wanting to do for a very long time. So it is the highest priority thing. And what that also means is we want that to happen first. And what we realized in our planning is that the carpet is something that has to happen in the second half of the year, right?
And honestly, I mean, we've been very transparent with the people. It's like, removing carpet, putting wood in places, it's like all this nuanced stuff, right? So in my mind, I've already said, well, if we can't do all of it, maybe we just do this first floor.
Oh, okay.
We take this carpet out of here, extend the wood, and we come back to the rest of that.
Got it.
So I've already, in my mind, came up with an alternate strategy.
Got it.
I didn't even say that to you until right now.
Right.
So when you said how important it is, it's like, we're going to do something. If it's not all of it, maybe we just do this. Because I would rather compromise on a goal that is further down the list than to compromise on the thing that is number one or number two or number three.
Exactly.
And I think when you talk about people sitting down as a businesses don't compromise on the top priorities.
Right. Or they shouldn't. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they shouldn't. They shouldn't compromise.
Right.
And I know, like, when you set a goal, and I'll just use, my work environment. When they set a goal, that goal typically doesn't change for the year unless there is a substantial change in the market or something, happens that is solely outside of the control of the business.
Like COVID.
Like, will they modify some of those goals? Otherwise, it's like, this is it. Go figure it out. And I think that's what you have to, I talk about you got to have some no matter what's.
Yeah.
And in goal setting as a couple, you got to do the look back on last year's performance to assess how you did on last year. Because maybe there's some things that you did last year that you don't need to repeat because you weren't consistent, or you look back and you say, we were super consistent in these areas, and you move those behaviors forward into the next year. And so that's where I think the look back is good, because then when you come into the new year and you're setting goals, you can be realistic with yourself. And that's why when we look back, we said, okay, we spent all this money on renovations, and now we're not doing that. And so now let's level set and goal set and say, where are the priorities? And so then we set those priorities, because last year when we did this, the renovation was at the top of the list.
Right.
So
and we decided, like, a year prior to the renovation, I think we believed that the renovation was going to be less money too. Yeah. And we decided that there were certain things about it that we did not want to miss out on. And so we did spend, we had a budget, and we actually stuck to the budget once we knew what it was in the beginning of the project, but it was still more than what we expected it to be a year prior. And so I think sometimes you have to make room for that nuance as well.
And even talking about the year prior, it's crazy. I'm going to go back 2 years, because 2 years we thought we were going to do it, and we were like, hold on, this is going to be more than we anticipate. And we have goals in 24 that we said, well, we can't compromise on the goals in 24. We need to push this to 25. And then we pushed it to 25. And in 25, we said, okay, realistically, this is what we're going to do. And so I make that point to just show how we consistently have looked back and said, okay, we need to push this to next year. And we did that. Then we accomplished it. Then we said, okay, moving forward, what are we going to do? That's why I think it's so important to have communication like this. And we turned the TV off, walked away. We're in one of our offices, and we were just sitting there having a conversation. And
I don't even think it lasted more than an hour and a half. I think it was about an hour and 15 minutes.
It really wasn't that long.
It wasn't that long. And then one of the things that you said at the end was, and then you can just put this into the budget, like in our worksheet, because we still use Excel. Like we use this tracking tool to show where our money is going and to confirm that we're on track with our budget and everything is getting paid. But in reality, for planning, we still use Excel. And so I just created we still had one. We still had a goals worksheet. And I put the goals in there as we described them so that we wouldn't forget what it is that we were doing. And even the little nuanced things, like when we do pay the house off, we still have to save for insurance and taxes. Right. And so making sure that task is in there and noted so we don't forget that. What you laughing at?
I'm laughing because, like, on the podcast, we talk about all this money and relationship stuff, because though this may be talking about finances, the relationship is all underlying in this, because we have to have good communication, and we have to make compromise too. You know, I had to be okay with, like, man, your clothes spending is twice mine. You know, I had to be okay with that. You know, that's not why I'm laughing. I'm just using that as an example.
You know what? This is the second time you have said this.
But
do you think I spend a lot on clothes?
No.
It's
reasonable.
I was gonna say, is it unreasonable?
It's reasonable.
Do you know, like, my clothes?
It's reasonable. I know. I can't talk.
Your clothes are more expensive than mine.
Can't talk
you just don't like to shop as much as I do.
I know. And then I go shop and I'll be buying whatever it is I want. Like,
you know what? Part of the reason why I'm not spending money is because during this holiday season, I definitely spent more. Like, I went.
You know what? I'm not gonna trip because you hooked your boy up.
I did. Listen. I took care of you this Christmas.
I was like, all right, girl, you done stepped your game up. Like,
I went all the way in with 2 feet on that one.
Right. So I'm not tripping on that.
But I'm saying I went and bought, like, I spent like $120 on some shirts and sweaters and stuff, and it was like 4 of them.
Yeah.
For like $100.
I was laughing. It wasn't really about your spending.
What was it about?
It's because, like, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, like, man, we're talking about money and finances, and we're always, like, finding space to, you know, figure out the plan and the strategy. And our youngest daughter popped into my mind because she's home from school for the holidays, and she's, like, just kicking back. Like, she's an adult, but she has come home and become like our young teenage child, playing her game on her iPad and just, like, because she wants to just check out for a while. And I think about how she is resistant a bit to the impending adulthood coming her way. And I just thought about her like, I see why.
Yeah, because it's a lot of
I see
responsibility.
why she's like, I don't want to get into this. Because we are always talking about strategy or this, or how do we reduce taxes? How do we save for retirement? Now, mind you, we have a lot of fun. We have a ton of fun along the way, but adult responsibility, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
It looks like we're running a financial business, a business of sorts, under the umbrella of the Youngs.
And I think this being intentional is why and how we got to where we are.
Yes.
Let's just be very clear that,
it's not by chance.
It takes intention. And
Yes.
and if you think you're going to wander your way into wealth, you are incorrect. You are sorely
There it
mistaken. And so while I can appreciate our daughter wanting to relax, she can do that. She's still under our umbrella, and she understands the weighty responsibility that it is to take care of yourself and also to try and save for your own future. But
I also know that she, when she enters that world, will be intentional.
Sure. Because
she's already done things with, some of our guidance, some of our leadership, some of our input that has set her up. She has an emergency fund. She's already saving for retirement, and she's not even working yet. Because I said, look, the cheat code is start early. And she bought into the concept. And even our oldest daughter, she was home for the holidays, and she looked back at her 401k. She was like, whoa, when she saw how much she had accumulated over just a few years. And I was like, I multiply that by 10, when you get over the next 7-8 years, and you're going to be like, wow, this is what I've done. And so this is why we're telling you, whoever is out there listening and watching on YouTube, press that like and subscribe. This is what it takes.
Yeah, it does. And so I think that the one thing that is important is you figure out the strategy, your method, where you write things, how you write things. You figure it out for yourself, right? We figured out what works for us today. The other thing that we did is we have this big, huge calendar that we track all of our, travel and all of that good stuff. And so we started writing out when the travel is and all of that. And so I'm excited about the fact that that's a new thing that we implemented a year ago. And it's still something that works for us.
It's another strategy.
Yeah, it is.
It's another, plan that's intentional.
Yeah.
Because that helps us manage where you're at for work or business travel, where I'm at for work or business travel,
date
where
nights.
We're traveling. Yep, date nights.
Yeah.
And that goes to the relationship part of it. Is like, okay, you're booked here, I'm booked here. When are we free? When do we make time for one another and not just the hustle and bustle or the grind of work and business? And that's why it's all important because, trust me, CEOs make time for themselves.
Yeah. So be the CEO of your own financial life. Take your finances as seriously as a business does, because if you don't, no one else is going to do it for you. Nobody is about to come and save you when we're talking about your retirement future or your financial goals or taking care of your household. There is not a, man with a cape coming. Okay. This is not happening.
And so I would even say, like, get yourself a whiteboard.
Yeah.
And use that as a tool when you sit down and you set a strategy for the year and just start writing everything out there so you can see the big picture and what the big picture looks like. Because when you can see everything, you see where the gaps, where there may be holes, or where you're winning, where you're having success. And then you can chart your way through it, and, definitely we have a monthly check-in, just talk about budget. This is the overall, this is the annual fiscal budget that we're talking about. Then you got to have the monthly budget.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. This was mapping out our game plan. This is the strategy. This is what the coach tells their players before they get on the field is going to be the strategy for this game, right?
Yes.
And this is when the business sits down and says, this is the direction we're going this year. This is when you are thinking about how you're going to get out of debt, and you as a team make the choices to say yes to this or no to this.
This is the film session.
Yes.
We're looking back.
And this is where you're establishing healthy boundaries, because I'll go back to the dining out. We're not going to never go dining out. Like, you might not like the number, but I do think that the conversation is, what do we want that to be, and how are we going to get there?
We got smart too, because our favorite restaurant over the holidays, they have where you buy a gift card and you get free money. And so we were like,
you get an extra gift card on top of the gift cards you purchased.
Right. We were like, well, we know for a fact that we're going to go here.
Yes.
So we went and bought a couple gift cards and got 2 more gift cards with free money. So we were like, all right, now we've already increased our value by 25%. And then, the kids, they show some love, and I got another gift card for my birthday.
So we're going to have what we need to take advantage of all of the rewards. I don't play about my rewards. I don't play about these gift cards. Like, I'm going to save some money somewhere. I might spend money, but I save money too. And by the way, I thought about this.
Uh-oh.
You was talking about your clothing is less than mine. You had some gift cards this year, babe. You've had rewards from work that you use for clothing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
I forgot about that. That didn't fall into our budget.
It did not fall into the budget.
Yeah.
You might not be as much less than me.
If I put that into the budget, it would have kind of. Yeah, why you got to bring that up?
I'm just saying, because you out here putting my business in the street. You know what I'm saying? I got to save my life, okay? I got to save my life out here.
Oh, man, I got this. Let me get this 500 from Nordstrom.
See? And you got
let me get this other 500 over here.
Yeah, you got blessed in a whole other way, too, with a suit.
Hey, God is good. Yeah. God is good.
All the time.
All the time.
God is good.
There it is.
So what's your make it worth it, babe?
I can't say what I always say. I got to say something new. I say something different. Like, boss up.
Ooh, I like that.
Just boss up. Create and demonstrate some CEO behavior.
Ooh.
Have some CEO mentality. Because CEOs are strategists, they're visionary, they're thinking about the long term, not just the short term. And when you start to think like that, you'll get some different results.
That's good. Boss up. That boss energy.
What about you?
I love that. Make time. Prioritize the time that it takes. Right?
Yes.
Like, prioritize the time that it takes. And for us, like I said, it took, just over an hour to sit down and strategize, and it's completely worth it.
Time well spent.
That vision, that clarity, being on the same page with the person that you care most about, and making your goals that important that you're willing to give them the attention that is necessary, I think is really valuable. And the other part of it is that you can't make decisions without seeing the whole picture. So you do need to look at that. And so it takes time. And honestly, our session was less time because every month I'm over here categorizing the money probably 2 and 3 times a week. I'm in the tool, for just a few minutes, 10 minutes. And it would have taken longer had we not been doing that throughout the year. So to be very clear, making sure that you do this all month, every month, makes it easier for you to have these kinds of sessions when you're reviewing your finances.
So I was talking about your spending. So let me just take a moment to say I appreciate how you put the time in to make sure categorically we're categorized right and the inputs are there. So good job.
Teamwork
makes
the dream work.
Exactly.
That's right.
You know, we gotta have, you know, somebody bossing up and, you know, somebody putting the categories in.
I mean,
But you boss up too, though. It's
I
not
think
like it's one or the other. We both have boss energy.
It's just what tasks does a person take on that are more aligned with their personality
their
or
giftings.
Yes, and I think that is something that I prefer to do.
That's your gifting for sure.
And you have other tasks around here that I don't participate in at all.
Yes.
Anytime, you know, we need work done around the house, I step back, okay? I am not interested in half of that stuff at all, ever.
But, you know,
and you take the
lead. Work.
You take the lead on a lot of that management of keeping the house in order with the updates, repairs, the going to Menards, those things. I'm not interested. So we have our roles, and that's it. That's why we share Chief Financial Officer of the house.
That's right. That's why it's all good. So
this
was good combo.
It is. So I'm hoping that people will boss up, as you say, and keep that energy and
treat your finances like a business and get your stuff ready for 2026. Make it the year that we want it to be.
Yes, absolutely.
I text someone, I was like, this our year. And he texts back, was like, don't we say that every year? I was like, yeah, consistency.
Yes, right.
Whether last year was your year or not, this is your year.
Let's make it.
So consistently say, this is my year.
That's it.
So
for anything you're trying to do, let's make it happen. So
that's right.
Until next time.
We're out.
Thank you for spending some of your time with us today.
We appreciate all of your support. So be sure to subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you listen to this podcast.
You can find us on Instagram at For Better and Worth.
And sign up to receive our free guide, The 7 Reasons Your Money Relationship Isn't Working with Your Partner, on ForBetterandWorth.com.
Until next time, we're out of here.